Hey, how y'all doing? And okay, here we are. But how'd you guys like the Prepper X chat tonight? That was cool. That was awesomely cool. Yeah, because I've seen the Sovereignty channel go up, so I'm like, hmm. And hearing what he's planning to do, it makes perfect sense, man. He's got my full support on that. Very deep indeed. Very deep. Hey, anytime FLP, buddy. Anytime. I get it. Hey, what's up, Backwoods? And I see why you did what you did. Um, you can have the cyber nuke for yourself, for your story. The prepper X is for everybody. I get it. I totally get it. Hey, War Dog. But oh, I exactly. Every You may laugh at what I'm about to say, but everything now has its place. If you know what I mean by that. Yes, we are, Nina. But yeah, how you doing, man? Um, I know you guys. Some of you guys probably seen the dog that I used for the picture for the chat tonight. Um, that's Mr. Zeus. That was the day I brought him home. Little funny story about that. A friend of mine calls. She goes, "Can you come get my dog and take him to the Lawrence County Humane Society?" Now this is on a Sunday. Hey, Christy, hugs. How you doing, Seven? But she told me to take him to the Lawrence County Humane Society. Well, it was on a Sunday, so I'm thinking, well, they're closed. So I brought him home and kind of got attached to him almost overnight. So Monday, I figured, well, since she saw me taking the Humane Society, she's given up ownership of the dog. So what I did was I immediately went out and had him registered in my name and kept them. Well, she comes back a week later because she goes, "Where's my dog at?" And I'm like, "I kept them. I didn't think you were coming back, so I kept them." Oh, she wasn't happy for a little while, and then I found out through the grapevine that she didn't think that anything was going to work out where she was going. She figured she was going to be back in about a week, so she wanted to go get her dog back. Well, a little late for that. He's been here ever since. But yeah, she totally gets it. She knows he's in a good home, so she's cool with that. And right now, he's sprawled out across my floor. And what's the get together? Oh, it sounds like you sprained that, man. You may want to go have that looked at. How you doing, Juanita? And yeah, with the yeah, with the get together, things are starting to come together here. Um, just talked to a rescue boss. Some of the things that might be needed is some like paper plates. You too, War Dog. Have a good night, buddy. Paper plates, maybe some silverware, and next week I'm gonna on my way home I'm gonna stop by the one place and see if they will indeed deliver to the park. I don't see why they wouldn't. They're less than 10 minutes from where we're going to be. So that's the idea. You can never go wrong with pizza. Gotcha, RB. That and I was going to say, whoever's coming, bring your own drinks because everybody likes to drink something a little bit different. So plan for at least about 3 or 4 hours, maybe a little bit longer. Bring a little cooler of your own stuff. So yeah, so but this is just a simple little get together. That's what I'm uh, working on there. Hey, Kentucky, good to see you, bud. But yeah, it's going to be a. Oh, you can bring chairs, but bring chairs or the shelter that got's full of tables too. So you could tables, chairs. I don't know if it has a grill though. I think it does. I think it might have a charcoal grill. Well, it depends what the way the weather is here in Pennsylvania. You might need an electric chair to keep you warm. So that's an option. Yes. Anybody who lives in Pennsylvania will tell you it's just like it'll be like 90, 90, 90, 90. Then like the next day it'll drop to like 40. This is one of the original states where God will say you cannot have all 4 seasons in one week. And Pennsylvania's like, yeah, hold my beer. Watch this. No, it won't be that cold in 2 weeks, but stranger things have happened. Oh, I'm jealous. I am jealous. Oh, it's okay, Kentucky. I get it, man. I went through that yesterday. Didn't have a chance to buy a donut spare for my Jeep yet. So I'm coming home from work. Had to do 2 runs. Coming home from work, and next thing you know, my tire light's coming on. But tire light come on, so I swing back around. Now T Bear in Backwoods Law probably knows what I'm talking about. I go back to Eppingers on 19. I just passing Eppingers when the tire light came on. Go back. I know they have an air pump. Throw $1.50 in the air pump. Reinflate the tire. Okay, I should be good to go. Then make it halfway across the parking lot and the tire light's back on again. I'm like, oh great. So I pull over. I'm sitting in the parking lot. I call AAA. They're dealing with an accident. They didn't say where the accident was, but they're dealing with an accident. And I'm like kind of like next in line after that. But anytime, Kentucky. Um, I called them. I'm trying to think. I called them probably about 45 minutes before Spicy's chat was going to start because I wanted to get home to actually make Spicy's chat. Like when you guys that are in Spicy's chat, when you see me come in, I was standing in the middle of Eppinger's parking lot just checking in, saying like, "Yeah, I'm not going to make it. I got a flat." But when they finally showed up, found out that AAA will not actually plug a tire. And the reason I was kind of hell bent on getting this plugged is those tire pressure sensors. The one in my Jeep, the ones in my Jeep they're good, but they're sensitive. Um, they will tell you the poundage of that tire up to the second. The vehicle I had before, like I actually had a blowout, and it took about 10 minutes for the tire pressure sensor to realize that there's no pressure in the tire. Actually, it wasn't. I didn't have the Jeep down there. I was coming from 422 going back south on 19. Had the work truck down there. Surprised I haven't had a flat in that yet. But yeah, 279 is just a mess down there. Ooh, front ball joints is never fun. What it was is It looked like a half a piece of there's a piece of pipe only about that wide, like a half piece of pipe or a metal shaving got jammed up in there. But the AAA guy showed up because I got my own personal stash in the trunk with an air compressor. So I paid him privately $10. He plugged the tire for me and said, keep on going. And the reason, getting back to the reason I did that is my Jeep comes with a can of Fix A Flat and an air pump. In like a dire emergency, that'll work. This wasn't exactly a dire emergency, and I didn't want to throw $250 down the drain to buy another tire pressure sensor because the Fix A Flat gooped it up. Oh, they sucked. Oh, they absolutely sucked on. Oh, we'll do rescue boss. They sucked in my dart too. You sneezed wrong, it'll tell you like you got 3 flat tires. I'm like, what? You stop, you check, tire pressure's fine, and I'm just like, okay, my car's on drugs again. Thanks. Yeah, the Jeep isn't bad though. As I said again, rescue. Thanks a lot, buddy. That's definitely appreciated. Um, Getting back to the get together here real quick. Um, I'm probably going to have tablecloths for that. I think I found some place to get it. If not, there's a couple other places I could get it. Oh, front ball joints backwards. Oh, some of these ball joint designs are. Digger X. It sounds like a comic book character. I'm Digger X. Okay, but yeah, some of these ball joint designs are just atrocious. Especially like the old GM where you actually had to rivet them in. Then they made them so you could. They finally made them so you could bolt them in, but like the original ones, you actually had to drill the rivets out, put the new one in, rivet the thing in, and you hardly have enough room to work the rivet gun in. Ugh. You got a point there, man. But this, a lot of these front wheel drive vehicles can't really go back to a kingpin like that. Oh, yeah, we're definitely going to have fun, Juanita. It's definitely going to be fun. And there's, it's kind of interesting because I've never done anything like this before. I'm just like, I feel safe to try it, at least try it. And the way I'm doing it, I'm trying to keep it. I'm doing this with the KISS principle. Keep it simple, stupid. And it's just a get together. It's basically a gab session. Just going to be an outdoor gab session in a shelter. That's what I planned on. But this all goes back to the net, like FLP was talking about the networking and what he's talking about tonight with relationships. Um, I've had plenty of relationships with people, friends, romantic, you have it online. See, the thing with the online is as long as you're online, you can kind of feel closer to somebody. But when you just talk to somebody online, that is about the equivalent of keeping somebody at arm's length. You have to take that next step to make that relationship grow. I mean, it's okay, Seven. It's totally cool. But back to the relationship thing is with when you talk to somebody through a computer, it's the best way I can explain it is when you talk to somebody through a computer or through electronic means of some sort, it's almost like you can actually hide behind that computer. And if that's all the further that interaction goes, I'm not saying that the relationship's going to stall, but it's only going to go to a certain point, and that's all the further you're really going to get. And with each person, it's a different point. You may have a romantic connection or something like that. But when you take that next step to actually meet people face to face or even talk to them on the phone, when you when you do something like that, when you like talk to them on the phone, you actually get some more of a stimulus than just seeing words flash up the screen or watching somebody talk in a video like I'm doing now. When you take that next step, then you can make relationships grow and really figure out where you stand with everybody. Um, maybe that's I want to say maybe stand with everybody, but figure out where you fit in. I think that'd be a better choice of words. You kind of figure out where you fit in, how you fit in, and go from there. If that makes sense to y'all. Yeah, because with me doing my own live chats right now, exactly, RB, exactly. And this is you're talking to somebody who's hidden behind a computer for at least the last 20 years. So this is I can kind of come out a little bit. To me, it's like a baby step. Hey, what's up, Survival Comms? So it's kind of like a baby step. It's a baby step that I need to make to further relationships, networking, or what have you. And I've actually, when it comes to that, I actually come a long way. Like, oh, go ahead, talk about me. I'll join in with you. But I've been doing, other than the live chats, I just started doing these live chats. And the reason I kind of started doing the live chats, and you're gonna find out why one of the reasons why I started doing photography. I do have some insecurities. I won't call them fears, more insecurities. Um, and this is a way to start working myself around them. Um, I've never really been good at talking to people about it. I just kind of figure out what I think the issue is, find a solution, and start implementing it the best I can. One of the reasons I started photography, I like doing photography, but I was almost to a point that I would never go out in public. I would go out to the woods, no problem. I'm by myself. I can isolate myself. I can, for lack of a better word, hide. But I'm like, this isn't healthy. I need to get out back out in the public here. So I like the photography, and what that did is that got me back out. I can kind of pick and choose where I went, but it got me back out in public, got me talking to people again, face to face. Um, Before I started playing around doing this on YouTube, I was almost like a recluse. I was just like I talked to people through the computer because I could keep it at arm's length. To me, I felt safe. Well, it's time to step out of my comfort zone, so to speak. And that's sounds good to me, Purple. But it's one of those things. It's one of those things that you, in order to progress in your own life, in order to grow in your own life, you have to learn to step out of your comfort zone to um, further progress, for lack of a better term. Welcome back, Finger Lakes. I'll say I get that, Seven, and it may be the wrong reason, but I've told you guys why I started hiking years ago. It wasn't to commune with nature. It wasn't to find Zen or enjoy nature. I went hiking just to get the hell away from people. I'm just like, well, the further I go in the woods, the further they are behind me. So I don't have to deal with them anymore. And for the most part, it worked. There's a couple times it didn't, but I got a really good workout that day. Like taking about a 12.5 mile hike in just under 3.5 hours. And I wasn't running. That was all. I think I kept my walking pace at about 4 to 4.5 miles an hour the whole time. Oh, so he's a typical little boy there, Seven. Oh, I remember. Oh, some of the things I did when I was a kid. I'm surprised I'm still. I'm surprised I'm not 6 feet under. Like we have a big hill in our backyard. One day I got the bright idea that I was going to make about a foot and a half tall ramp to jump a bike off of, but I was going to come off the top of the big hill. Granted, I was about 8 years old at the time. I thought it was a good idea. I come barreling down the little. Actually, it wasn't even a BMX bike. I had this little. We call them banana bikes. Had the seats on about yo long, but the big ape hanger handlebars and everything. So I go to the top of the hill, push the bike to the top of the hill. I come barreling down the hill on this thing. I hit the jump, and the last thing I can remember, I was looking out. We had a shed. It was sitting right next to the shed. And I swear to God, the shed is about 8 foot tall, and I was looking over the shed upside down. And I never finished rotating. I landed about head first in the middle of the yard. Oh, I felt that for months. Yeah, the old monkey hangers. Monkey hangers. Oh, I remember those days too. Survive. Oh my God. And the BMX bike I had. This is how long ago I had a BMX bike. The mags are still actually made out of metal. I still have mine hanging in the garage because you can't find them anymore. But oh, oh, I love the Stingrays. I actually still want a Stingray. That's actually I like bicycles, like especially the old bicycles. I love them. The old Stingray with the 3-speed shifter on the top bar and the Springer front fork. Hey Timo, what's up, buddy? Which talking about that, not next week, but the week after that, starting the 14th, I start my vacation, so I'm planning on getting the bike back out. No, I never tried that one either. That sounds like that'd be fun. It's kind of like an inverted Tarzan type of thing, right? Oh, great, Tim. How about you, man? Well, I'm trying to think of awesome. Trying to think of some of the other things we used to do back in the woods when we were kids. They weren't very big, but we used to do what we call cliff jumping. And this is one of the reasons why I am surprised I am still alive. We have a couple cliffs behind the house here. Well, I have a couple cliffs behind the house here. I mean, I think the biggest one's maybe about 30 foot tall. But at the bottom of the cliff, there's like a big scree pile. It's like loose dirt and rocks and all kinds of stuff. But it's loose enough that it'll, if you hit it right, that's the key. Hit it right. I would not. Before I go any further, let me say this: do not try this at home, folks. Do not try this at home. Even though I did it at home, don't try it at home. But we used to jump off the cliffs and hit that loose dirt and slide down to the valley bottom. But the total trip, the big 30-foot cliff, then we hit the pow, which is about another 40 foot tall. We travel about 70 feet down. Oh my god! And I did that a couple times, and just like the one time I hit a rock and started going ass over tin cups down the path. Oh, that wasn't good. I think I laid back. I think I laid down the valley bottom with my feet in the creek for about an hour. I'm just like I couldn't move. I'm like, okay, that wasn't one of my better ideas. So what I do once I could get moved, I went back up and did it again. Oh, I mean, we did crazy stuff. That and if any of you guys actually follow anything to do with bicycles, you probably heard of downhill mountain biking. We were doing that about 30 years ago, except our mountain bikes didn't have suspension. They're full rigid. That can get real interesting quick. You're going 30 miles an hour down a dirt trail, and the bike just wants, yes, it was fun, Purple. It was very fun. Painful at times, but it was fun. But you're going down a dirt trail, going about 30 miles an hour on a mountain bike, and the whole thing's just going like this the whole time, trying to buck you off. So these guys have full clutch suspension now, and they can keep the thing planted and just like, oh, we're hardcore. I'm like, no, you're not. Nope, 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 nope. But all depends on what you're doing with it. Back then, when I was doing it on a rigid, I kind of wish I did have a full suspension because there'd be times that the bike be bouncing around so much it'd pop me off the trail. The full suspension and some of the stuff I was going over with kept me playing a little bit better. Exactly, Timo. Basically, you stood up, you stood up on the pedals and let the bike move underneath you. Actually, Timo's exactly right because you had to. You put the seat the whole way down. You kind of stood up, kind of crossed when you stood up on the pedals, and you used your arms as your shock absorbers. Oh yeah, oh yeah, I can imagine. Like there's a hill over on here. It's called Bradford Park Road. The hill itself's about 9/10 of a mile long. And I remember one time I was riding my bike. My bike was my transportation for a while. Come off the top of the hill. I just passed the first house, and I look over, and I see a I see what I think is a German Shepherd, but the other thing I see is this big gaping maw and teeth coming at me. I'm like, oh, this isn't good. So I'm in about sixth gear. I take off. It's a 10-speed bike. I take off in sixth gear, get the thing moving. So me and the dog are kind of like even with each other. He's not catching me, but I'm not pulling away from him. And it kind of terraces. So I kind of go over the first terrace and start back downhill. I pop it into 10th gear and take off. And I'm looking up, and I looked back at the dog one last time. He's still keeping up with me, so I just stood up on the pedals in 10th gear and just pedaled for all it's worth. The whole way down the hill, I never slowed down. In fact, I think I passed a car on the way down, and the policeman down at the bottom of the hill that was running the speed trap didn't like that, and he pulled me over. That was interesting. Got out of that ticket though. That kind of looked right at the policeman, says, "You know how it's going to look if you write up somebody on a 10 speed for speeding? You know how that's going to look, everybody?" He's like, "You got a point. Just get out of here. Don't do that again." I've done some pretty crazy things. We're not even going to get into some of the stuff I did with the cars. Well, that oh, that's those are the young and dumb days. That's another reason why I'm surprised I'm still here. But I got it all out of my system for the most part. Oh, I can imagine, man. I can imagine. Oh, like a buddy of mine had a Jeep, field bomber Jeep. I mean, it was rusted to the point that it actually cut the back half off the body of the Jeep because it just kept on flopping and bouncing off the tires. Oh, some of the things we put that poor Jeep through. Like I remember the one time we went down there, he had a little winch on the front of it. I don't know what the poundage was on it, but I go down there one day and he actually had a winch about halfway up a cliff. I'm like, "What are you doing, Scott?" "I just want to see if he'll do it." I'm like, "Okay." Oh, yeah. Backwoods Law had to walk the straight and narrow. One of the one of the officers pulled him over and it's just like, "I don't want to go home now. No, I have to." Hey, Cheryl. Have a great night, Cheryl. Thanks for stopping by. And chili. Mm. That reminds me. Talking about chili. Oh, those sit and spins are just dangerous, but not as dangerous as the playground merry-go-round. Those things were just, oh, those things were would kill you. Hmm. Yeah, then you all remember the playground. Anybody remember the playground merry-go-rounds? Oh, I've had so many accidents with those things that, especially when you get a bunch of little kids on there, all of us combined weigh about maybe 200 pounds, and you get the biggest people you can find to start spinning that thing as fast as they can go until you all fly off because it's centrifugal force. You land about 10 feet away in your head and wonder why, okay, why did I ask him to do that in the first place? Oh, oh, we did some really dumb things with those. Like the one school, they're dismantling one, but they can only get like the railing parts off. They actually had to call in something to get the pick up the turntable and where it mounts in the ground. And me and my cousin went down there with the mountain bikes. You haven't lived to bunny hopped up on one of those things going about 20 miles an hour. Right as you're airborne, your cousin gets the thing spinning before you land. Things get real interesting there. Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, Seven. I've seen that. Have not tried it. I have seen that. People fly everywhere. T Bear, after we're done here, you have to go. There's a couple videos of that floating around on YouTube. This is like Darwin Award stuff here. Absolute Darwin Award stuff. Because they start slow and it's slowly picks up speed. So it's going so fast that exactly. And it's going faster and faster and faster until the people can't hang on anymore and they just go flying off like a stone get pitched out of a tire. Oh, don't remind me about those rescue. I was only ever in one of those once, and I was an adult. And it was because my buddy's kid at the time climbed up to the top of the thing and wouldn't come down. And he's not like an outdoor get down and dirty type. And he goes, him and his wife were looking, she won't come down. What do we do? She won't come down. So I'm like, hang on. I get down and I crawl to the top of the thing, grab her, and bring her back down. Oh man, I almost got stuck in that thing like twice. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, rescue. The kids are their big playland. To an adult, it's like an undersized hamster tube, pretty much. Oh, what else was there? There's the big geodesic dome things that you could climb on. Actually, as funny as this may sound, the more I think about it, I think of in a prepper community, that'd be something you actually may want to set up because I see actually training opportunities with that thing. It, it will teach you how to move around cramped spaces in a hurry. That sounds like a challenge. Oh, some of the things that I've already been in, like some of the horse shows I've been in. You go where the horses are at, it's fun. So when you're trying to get out, we used to have old side by sides, and they give you you put the horse on. You're supposed to stay on the wall side, not the center, but on the outside wall. And there's a door inside that they call the escape hatch. You bring the horse in, you're supposed to step out the escape hatch. Well, for some reason, the escape hatch is only about 3 foot high and about a foot wide, but it's not on the ground. It's like elevated by a good bit. So you got to be a raccoon or something. You get the horse in there, especially the horse is coming on with any speed. You're pretty much trying to dive out through that door so the horse doesn't hit you and pin you up against the main manger. Oh, that hey budget, how you doing, buddy? Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, backwoods. You ever see the The training house they have down on Washington Boulevard. I'm sure you've probably been down there a couple times. They got the training house and the training tower. Which, while I'm on vacation, I'm actually thinking about going down there. Not really for that. Is right next to the police station down there. There's a little velodrome. Just a question, Budget. The previous supporter. Did you change your name, Budget? Or have you always been Budget Bushcraft? Okay. Okay. I think I may have passed that one once or twice. I just can't exactly remember where that one's at. Because there was the one over Washington Boulevard in Allegheny County. There's also another one over by North. I think it's over by North Park someplace. I think. Well, here in Economy Borough, when for training houses, if someone has a house that's kind of condemned or they don't think they can make any money off of it, they'll sell the land, but they'll donate the house to the fire company. So they practice all kinds of stuff. Ouch. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I do believe I have been by that one then. You're awesome too, FLP. Have a great night, buddy. Be catching up with you soon. Oh, I don't know what's worse, just smacking your head because it hurts, or you smack that hard hat and the hard hat shifts on your head right over your eyes, or you're disoriented for like 2 or 3 seconds and you end up smacking something else. Oh, gotcha, budget. Gotcha. That's happened to me a couple, 2, 3 times. A lot of the some of the pages I go to, I have to always have to go and re-click the bell or resubscribe or something. I'm like, yeah, thanks, YouTube. Thank you. I'm trying to think where the one over by North Park is. It's been a while since I've been over there, but there's one over by North Park too. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's over by the baseball fields. Or no, it's on the other side of the park from the baseball fields. I know where it's at now. There's like a little back road that goes by it. Yeah, that's where it's at. Yeah, because I actually been to that one once, but I wasn't training as I was working for Saturn at the time. I was a lot of times like right after I started there, and I had to drop somebody off there. Yeah, that's where it's at. I had to drop somebody off there. Yeah, I think for the reason for some of your folks lag is probably my computer. It's I'm surprised it's actually keeping up as well as it is. I mean, there is some lag, but I'm not getting too bad here. Like I can tell when it starts to lag on your end because my chat will disappear. If I move the mouse around, it pops back up. Oh, oh. Hey, at least you didn't hit the dock or the water. That would have sucked. And I don't really have that much boat experience, but one of the last times me and Dad were out in the little John boat. He had a 9.9 on the back of it. We're up on the Allegheny River, and I mean, this is how all it was a John boat with a 9.9 outboard that you kind of tiller drove. No electronics, no nothing. But we're going up the Allegheny River, and we didn't know exactly how shallow it could get. So he has that 9.9 crank for all it's worth. We're barreling up the Allegheny River, and we hit a sandbar. Now, since we're just moving from point A to point B, he's driving the boat at high speed, so they ain't, no trolling's going to get done. So I'm just kind of laying across the front of the boat sleep, and he hit that sandbar and almost shot me off the front of that front of that boat. Like, oh, let's just put it this way: I was on a very on the very front of the boat. I was hanging off the bow. Hey, good night, Budget. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. I appreciate it. Oh yeah, to try we hit the sandbar going about 25 miles an hour. That did not feel good at all. I didn't get wet, but I had a bruise from the top bow of that boat right about there because this is where I was hanging off of it, and I kind of flew up in the air and hit it. Oh, that felt good. That felt real good. Yeah, and I think the next time you folks see me, all this is going to be gone. I'm to the point I'm tired of it. Time to go. Yeah, we're only going to be here for about another 13 minutes backwards, but you have a good night, buddy. Yeah, but as I was saying, I'm thinking about getting rid of this. The beer, the I go through stages. I'll I'll be clean shaven for about a month. I'm like, okay, I'll grow it back in. I'll grow the beard back in until it starts driving me nuts. I'll take it back off and start all over again. That and this weekend, since I don't really have much going on, I'm actually hoping to get some videos shot this weekend too. I mean, more videos than I have been putting out anyway. I've been putting out like one or two a week. It's just I've been with the photography and all the fairs going on. Yeah, I go through stages. I go through stages, man. It's just like I like my beard, I like my beard, I like my beard. I wake up one morning, I'm like, okay, it's driving me nuts. Time start over, reset, reset. Yeah, with the videos here over the last month or so, it's just like with all the photography and the fairs and I only got to make we have like 5 or 6 fairs in the area. I only got to make it to two of them, but I kind of set time aside to do that, and especially with the way I've been working lately too, it's just like okay, I just need to step away, take a little bit of time to myself. I do that a lot too. It's like I'll step away for a little bit, take some time myself before I come back to it. You guys probably see me like it'll be like 2 or 3 weeks. Where I'm like I'll put out like about 3 or 4 videos a week. Then like one week will be like one. That's because I'm busy doing some other things. But I find that for me it works anyway. If I step away from some for a little bit, and when I come back to it, it's fresh. It's a little fresher than what it was, especially if it's something you enjoy doing. But even so, wow, that moth going in front of the screen that was kind of trippy. But back to what I was saying, something that I enjoy doing is I I'm the type of person, if I really enjoy doing something, I throw myself into it hog wild, but I'll burn myself out. So I find with something like that, like I'll do it for a little bit, I'll step back for a little bit, then I'll go back into it again. That way I don't burn myself out. It's pacing myself. As it may sound funny, but I'm kind of pacing myself on it instead of going full bore. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about there. Oh, trust me, when the cold months get here, I'll have this back. It doesn't take me long to grow one. Oh, I hear you. Especially like the hospital stuff. That sometimes I don't know how people can do because I'm in for my job. I'm in 7 hospitals a day, and I have like a very small part in the big operation of everything. I'm not employed by the hospital, but my company helps supply hospitals, and it's interesting, or I should say, it can be interesting. Me, I just walk in with the pallet, drop the pallet, say see you later, sign here, see you later. But some of the stuff that I have to do is like if they have a return, not so much for the company I work for, but I also deliver for a couple other companies that use us as a subcontractor, and everybody's different. Oh, that's cool. Have fun. I'm thinking AC's Atlantic City. Have fun, bud. That was one place that there for a while I actually wanted to go to. Now, like the older I get, it's just like, no, I'm happier in the woods. Put me up on a mountaintop. I'm a happy guy. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Well, how many hurricanes are floating around the Atlantic right now? Like three, like two or three of them, with a fourth one starting to form off of Southwest Africa. I haven't looked in on that for a little bit. I think it's one of those things when you live inland, you don't really pay as much attention to them as somebody that lives along the coast or a state that's really affected by them. And I'm not putting people down who live close to the coast or an area that's affected. It's just the further you are, the further you are removed from it, the less it's one of those things. Is the further you are removed from, the less you tend to think about it. Like case in point, that can be dangerous. Case in point, though, is T Bear could probably back me up on this if she's still in here. Is Hurricane Ivan, and Hurricane Ivan was a very early hurricane because we still had snow on the ground, and it came up the Mississippi River Valley, hooked on the Ohio River Valley, and hit us when we had about a foot and a half of snow on the ground, and it poured down rain all day and melted a foot and a half of snow on the ground at the same time. That was a mess. That was just an unmitigated. That's like one of those 100-year floods that you hear about. Yeah, talking about mountaintops. Actually, I want to get up the. I haven't been up to camp in a while. My uncle's camp. I want to try to get up there this year, at least for a weekend. Maybe if my dad goes up. If my dad goes up for the weekend, well, starts on the weekend. Him and his brother, my uncle, will probably hunt into the week. I'll go up on Friday and leave on Sunday. But I haven't been up. I haven't been up to camp in a while. So, oh, I can imagine. I can imagine either because it was horrible up here. So, and when it got up here, it was nothing more than a a storm. Yeah, it was just a storm up here. So down there, wasn't Ivan like a category 5 or was that like a category 4? I mean, it was huge. No, see, we have the tornadoes up here. We haven't had a major ones in a while, but go into Google and Google tornado outbreak 1984, and it'll tell you about the worst tornadoes we had here in Pennsylvania. And the tornado actually started in Ohio, cut across Pennsylvania, and ended in New York. Nice survival columns. I think it's either Wikipedia or the NOAA has the track on that. It actually started in east central Ohio, came into southwestern Pennsylvania, and went the whole way up to northwestern Pennsylvania and went, I think, about 30 miles into New York before it finally stopped. And we actually looked at some of the destruction from that thing up in the mountains, because they're just like, oh, you can't have a tornado in the mountains. Oh, yes, you can. Because what that tornado would do is it would hit one mountain valley, go down the valley, come back up, pop up out of that valley, hit the top of the next mountain. So it hit every other valley. Night, Nina. I'm gonna be doing about the same thing in about 4 minutes. So you have a great night. Thank you for coming, hon. Yeah, see, I think with me is I think the reason why I have so much energy now, I wouldn't say so much energy, but more energy than usual is when I got home from work, I took about a 2 hour nap because I was whooped. I mean, it wasn't too hot today, but it was warm enough to sneak up on you. Oh, I hear you there, man. Well, a lot of the hurricanes will feed off of warm water. The warmer the water, the stronger it will be, and as it goes up and as water gets colder, it's can't keep itself can't keep itself fed. In theory, anyway. Yeah, but the last couple minutes we have here, I'm gonna tell you about the my normal live stream spot on Tuesday, 8 o'clock. I'm gonna start covering natural disasters. Um, Nina and the ladies on Wednesday night did an excellent job on just talking about how to prep for them and everything. What I'm doing is many people talk how to prep, where to go, how to deal with it. What I'm going to do is instead of doing that, I'm going to come at it from the other side and explain how each natural disaster starts, happens, and what's left behind. Oh, you're welcome, Mickey. I mean, you ladies do an awesome job. Absolutely awesome. But as I was saying, I'm going to actually focus on the natural disaster itself, not so much how to get through it, but I see a lot of people talking about them. What I'm going to talk about how to prepare for them, how to deal with them, how to survive through them. Not too many people actually talk about the actual mechanism itself. So that's what I'm going to start doing so you can better understand that. Oh, not too bad, Ox. We're about done, but hey, thanks for coming. You're getting a preview for my next chats. And the other thing I was going to say is Sundays, FLP has a little live chat, and it's kind of, I don't think he's really nailed down a time on that yet because there's one's like at 4 o'clock, one's like at 2 o'clock. But just keep your eyes open for that. Monday night, Backwoods Law on the Prepper X channel at 8 o'clock. He has his little deal going on there, and they talk about many different things. Tuesday night's mine at 8 o'clock. On Wednesday, you have Nina, 7 o'clock Central Louisiana time, or 8 o'clock Eastern. You have that. Then about 9:30 Eastern time. After that, you have the all ladies chat in Prepper X. Then, of course, tonight. Oh, can't forget Spicy. Sorry, can't forget Spicy. And his is at 7 o'clock Eastern time, or 6 o'clock Central Louisiana time. Um, then Friday nights at 8 o'clock for an hour and a half, 2 hours. The Prepper X chat. But with that being said, we're pretty much at the top of the hour. So I thank you all for coming. It's been great. You guys rule. Um, y'all have a great night, all right? And signing off. See y'all later. And thank you again.